What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Now it's time for us to talk about the amazing, talented, wonderful singer, Miss Kelly Price, right? So for those who don't know, Kelly Price took to social media the other day, snapping out. I'm talking about she was going off, talking about fans who were talking about her in an ill manner, right? So Kelly Price was on stage giving a performance, and she wore this outfit here. And there are a lot of people talking about the outfit that she had on. Many people said it was ill-fitting. They said it was tacky. They were talking about the shoes combined with the outfit was not a good look. They were using every type of adjective to describe somebody that doesn't look presentable in the best in the best standard, right? And so Kelly Price got wind of this, and she was going off. And she directed her rant towards a lot of black women, right? Talking about black women being nasty, disrespectful. She even alluded to the individuals talking about her. She alluded to many of them being DEI hires, you know, with her language, what she was saying. And she was pissed off to the highest degree of pissivity, for real, right? And so after getting trolled about her outfit, I thought about it, you know, and I said, you know, growing up on the south side of Chicago, Illinois, I knew a lot of great, wholesome women who were really down to earth and really good people all around, right? I went to Morgan Park High School on the south side of Chicago. Went to Turner Drew Language Academy on 93rd in Princeton. And I know a lot of great women who are just really, really cool. But then also, I know a nice amount of girls who prided themselves on being mean girls. Not just in Chicago. I'm talking about when I went to college at Mississippi Valley State University, there were some great women there, but then there were also a group of girls who were also mean girls, right? And so I do believe that in black culture, there are a lot of young women who love to be mean-spirited individuals. I don't know what it is, but they get a kick out of it. It's like a little rush for them to be mean to people and talking about folks and trashing folks and laughing and giggling at people's downfalls and shortcomings, so on and so forth, right? For real. And that's not even exclusive to just women. To men too, right? I know men from my lifetime growing up in Chicago, going to school in Mississippi, going to grad school in Arkansas, working in corporate America. I know people who just like to be bullies. Dudes too, you know, who like to talk about folks, who, again, like to give folks a hard time, who love to be assholes. I know men like that as well. And so I'm going to say in black culture in general, we got a problem with some people being mean-spirited folks, even on social media, right? You get rewarded for how mean-spirited you are. And I shouldn't say rewarded because it's not a real reward, but like if you literally, if you leave the most disrespectful, rude comment under a post, or if you share a video with the most disrespectful and rude comments, you get a lot of likes, you get a lot of reactions, you get a lot of shares, you get a lot of clicks on your profile, etc. And some people have turned it into monetization, right? From their YouTube or social media pages being monetized, for sure, right? And so I do think that we got to talk to each other better a lot of times within our culture. You know what I mean? And especially when the topic of gender wars come about, man, look, when gender wars happen on social media, a woman will say something negative about a man, and a man will say something to go below the belt even lower, then a woman will respond with something even lower, and we keep going lower and lower and lower, and we just got to stop doing it to each other. We got to cut it out, right? Now let's get back to Kelly Price. Because when Kelly said this, I say, you know what? In some ways, Kelly is right. We do got a mean girl problem, you know, within our culture. But she needs to take her own advice. Kelly Price needs to take her own advice. Why do I say this? Over the years, I've seen people, even Kelly Price's fans, talked about having negative interactions with her. Her being obnoxious, her being rude, etc. That has been a label on Kelly Price for a minute. Seriously. And I remember when the show R&B Divas came out, people were talking about this. Now, I never watched that show. I ain't watching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching R&B Divas. I'm just not. But for the purpose of this video, I went back and I said, let me do my research on this R&B Diva stuff. Because that's when people were saying that they saw Kelly Price's personality come out on this show, right? So Kelly Price was on one season of R&B Divas. R&B Divas, they got two different, I guess, shows. They had one for LA and one for Atlanta, and Kelly Price was on the one in LA, right? So Kelly Price on there for one season. It's 2013. And I believe they were doing some type of rehearsal. They were going to be in like a play or whatever, right? And so they got a guy named Fred Thomas Jr. to come in and be the director for the play. Now, Kelly Price is upset because she don't know who Fred Thomas Jr. is. She don't know him. And because she doesn't know him, she don't want him to direct it because she don't know him and she don't feel comfortable with him, even though everybody else seems to be in agreement that they cool with him, right? Now, Fred Thomas Jr. is a NAACP Theater Award-winning director, a Theater Award-nominated and award-winning director. So he got great credentials, right? But because Kelly Price don't know who he is, she going there raising hell on this man for no reason. Getting all up in this man's face, putting her hands all up in his face. I don't know you. I don't know you. I can't trust you with the most intimate parts of my life. Going all crazy. It's ridiculous. Like, and the way she's talking to him and being nasty to him, it's like a dark, toxic cloud around her on this show when I'm watching this interaction. And I'm looking like, man, this brother really kept his composure. He a really good dude, because a lot of folks would have went the hell off. You know what I'm saying? Would have snapped or say, you know what, I'm gone. I ain't got time to be dealing with this. The whole interaction, man, she's being over the top. Like, I'm talking about difficult as hell. Like, literally obnoxious, rude, negative, every word you can think of that she said about other women she's being in this clip. Right? And I said, man, she got a spirit on her that ain't cool either. She got that Kim Burrell Jr. spirit, that I'm a woman of God aura, but also I'm a mean ass woman. And I got a nice, nasty attitude about me that I like to use from time to time for no damn reason, but for me to throw low blows at you and to get a kick out of my own self. Kelly Price seems to be that type of woman at times, right? So I say, you know what? She want to talk about mean girls. She got to take her own advice, because you give out you get what you give out comes back to you. I'm sorry. The energy you put out into the universe comes back to you. That's something my uncle always told me, my father told me, my mother told me. The way you treat people, the way you conduct yourself in this world is going to come back to you. Seriously. And so with her having that mean girl spirit all around her for years, now it's coming back and she feel a way about it and she feels hurt, right? And I don't want nobody to be hurt or embarrassed, but like, or treated terribly. But listen, yo, you've been out here wilding out on people for a while. I told y'all some of her biggest fans have had negative interactions with her. How she's very standoffish and rude, etc. Then, in the same show, right, because Shantae Moore, y'all know the singer Shantae Moore. Shantae Moore was on R&B Divas. I guess her and Shantae Moore had some type of, I don't know what she was mad at Shantae about. I don't know, maybe because Shantae spoke about wanting to keep Fred Thomas as the director for them. And she goes in and she come up in I guess the rehearsal with Timberland boots and Vaseline, like she about to fight Shantae. For what? For what? Right? But Kelly Price, she got that nasty aura around her as well. You know, and so if you're going to talk about other people being that way, you have to look in the mirror and adjust yourself. And maybe she has adjusted herself over the years. But if she has to understand, man, this is coming to me because of how I was being to folks for a long time. For real, you know. And let me just say this too. And Kelly should know when she being all nasty to people and all of that over the years. But again, that R&B diva stuff. Talking to that man all in his face like she about to punch, like she not punch him, like she about to put her hands on him all crazy for no reason. Doing all that belligerent hollering and yelling and all of that. Then want to cry about it after the fact. Woman, don't be manipulative. You the one that started this whole scenario and whole situation with this man. For no reason other than the fact that you didn't know him. And he the new director. I don't trust you. All of that. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, woman? But anyway, for her to be having this negative aura around her and to have that mean girl spirit on her, I would think she would not have that due to the fact that she's been through a lot in her life and in her career. Kelly Price was the victim of severe fat shaming during the early part of her career in the 90s. Severe fat shaming. So much so that I remember she's on More Money, More Problems, right? She's singing the hook on More Money, More Problems and all of that. They thought she was so big, they didn't want her, they thought she was not presentable enough to be in the video so much. She's on a screen in the corner behind Mason Diddy now. A little small screen in the corner singing. They don't got her up front. They don't got her, so she can sing so everybody can see her face and really know who she is. They don't got her in the video for real, like up in the camera for everybody to see her while she's singing the hook. They got her in a corner, in a screen in the corner behind Diddy and Mason now. You can barely see her on the little screen. Got her on a little itty bitty screen because they thought she was too big to be presented on screen for real. Right? She done been through all that type of fat shaming, and way worse throughout her career. That type of fat shaming, and worse than that, right? She's also been a victim of serial infidelity. Infidelity that has produced children. And I remember her speaking about her ex-husband having children on her, right? She was sexually abused as a child and so on and so forth. And so to have all of that going on, and again, I don't wish none of that on no baby. That's horrific for a baby, not even just a baby, but for anybody to experience. But a baby though, that is disgusting, right? So yeah, it's terrible, but it's horrible, and I don't wish it on nobody, and I pray she gets healing from that. But you would think from all the other stuff that she had been through, like fat shaming and all that type of stuff, you would think she would say, you know what? I'm going to watch how I treat people. I'm going to treat people differently. I'm not going to be a mean person. I'm not going to be unruly. I'm not going to be obnoxious. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to be toxic. I'm not going to be negative. No. She had been like that. She'd been doing that for a little minute. I heard people talking about how she presents to people. Very rude and very, the women call it shady, right? She be acting like that, so she got to take her own advice for real, man. And again, I've been a fan of Kelly Price's music. My mama would play Friend of Mine, As We Lay, It's Gonna Rain, and that you should have told me I wasn't small enough. You should have told me I didn't call enough, but you let me on and kept me gone. That joint was hard. I ain't gonna cut. You should have told me. That you should have told me was fire. I am not gonna hold you at all. But she has a lot of reflecting to do. And she gotta look in the mirror herself before she starts talking about how this person is this way and that way, and how, black women is rude and mean and disrespectful and disgusting and all of that. Kelly, you had a disgusting attitude and persona to you for a while. Especially once you got a little smaller. When you got a little smaller, you start feeling yourself and start talking crazy to people, being really nasty to folks. And now you want people to be nice to you. That's not how life works. Again, the energy you put out into the atmosphere comes back to you. So if you want to be treated like that, you got to know, or maybe you have made some changes, but acknowledge the person you used to be and how you want to be better. Because I don't care. The way she was doing that dude, Fred, oh, man, it was no way. It is no reason for none of that at all. But, hey, I don't know. But I just don't agree with a lot of things that she was doing on that show and stuff that I saw on that show for the sake of just being mean. And now she want everybody else to be nice. And come on. That's not how life works. So if she want people, I do believe we got to stop this mean-spirited stuff amongst our people. But she got to acknowledge the wrongdoings that she had with all that mean-spirited, nasty stuff she had all up in her. She got to acknowledge that. And if she's still a mean girl within her spirit, she got to fix that on her too. You feel me? Because that's the pot calling the kettle black with this whole situation. Well, what do I know? I'm just a dude that's making YouTube videos on YouTube. I digress, whatever the hell that means. No, I'm joking. I know what it means, but I like to say that and be silly, man. But other than that, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, Machiavelli Mills TV. We out, y'all. Peace.